Rose here with you today to do another flip through of a custom journal that I was commissioned to do. So this journal is called The Ancient Arts. That's the title I put onto it. And this is the front cover. We've got some dark lace. We've got some steampunk gears here. We've got an old key on top of some tea stained lace, skull, key, like a place for the key to go, keyhole, and then some butterflies and of course some corner embellishments. Now I'll show you the bead part of this junk journal as well. So hopefully I'm in camera in the frame here. Just want to make sure I'm there. So I made up a bunch of different kinds of dangly things. This is some sari material that I did up and made it into a very long bead and then embellished it a little bit. These are turtles that I put on here because this ancient art junk journal is very much about shamanic kind of healing and magic and that sort of thing. And then of course I did just some bead work. I've got a moon attached to this one. This one is very special because it's all beaded, but this is a dragon holding a crystal ball. So dragon crystal ball, because in shamanic there's both Native American, well there's shamanic practices all over the world, but there's Native American, which I kind of focused on a little bit, but also Celtic shamanism. So this one has one of the bone beads on it. I did this skeleton one, or the skulls I mean, and then this one is just one that I like the pattern of. So we put that all, it's tied with a black ribbon, and then on the back of the book I've covered it with a black damask fabric. So, and it's huge, it's quite heavy. So this was one of the best ones I've done so far as getting signatures in nice and neat and clean, without having to, hide the edges and things like that. So here's the first page. Now, once I post this up, I don't do this until I've given it to the person who's getting it. So this is the first page, the amazing Sarah Wynn. If you want to check her out, she's a really amazing artist, and you can find her on Instagram at Like My Paintings. And so I went with a gothic theme at first, and she kind of looks like a shaman medicine woman here, and something wicked this way comes. This is of course the first pocket, as I do in all my junk journals. It's a clear pocket. This is number 17 that I'm working on as far as the journals go, and I always try to leave a little note in there. Since she's an artist, I found this and I wanted to include the creative artist on there. Another tag here. So when she said she wanted a junk journal, I had just finished doing a couple of my fairy ones, I think, and she said she wanted to go darker, and this is a tarot card as well. She's got a few tarot cards in there, so she can give herself a little tarot reading. So with her, I kind of found, and she was into shamanism, she's into animals, she loves animals, so I thought I'd go a little dark at first, and then I'd take it into the light, but not bright light, just calm, quiet light. So this is the first page here, some lovely Latin there. I put an embellishment here, and it says dream, and I meant to make it act as a tab, but it didn't turn out that way, but it's kind of there. And then I kept looking at this page and trying to think of what do I want to put on there, but I just love this rocking horse, and there's a bit of an eeriness about it, so I just kept it as it is. I kept coming back and going, nope, this doesn't work, nope, that doesn't work. The only thing I did do was this little embellishment, and that did work a little bit there for me. Then we've got, we are the granddaughters of those you could not burn. This is a vintage looking witchy page, so I just really like that. I incorporated it in. Then we've got some of that newspaper headline stuff, and I've got the bulldog clip here, but actually this will just stay because it's a corner clip as well, so it's a little tuck. And then we've got love and laughter as a little map tag. If she wants to read the headlines, she can, because again, like I said in my last video that I put up about a flip through, these are real newspapers. So this one is from 1903. It's Friday, December 18th, and it's the Virginia Pilot, I think it is. So then we've got the tuck here, so she could tuck something in there if she wanted, but I went quite dark and sort of like curious, odd little things. There's a skull here. This is a vintage picture of kids dressed up for Halloween back in the day, when you used to have to make your own costumes for real. And then, you know, I had a little graveyard scene here. And I did text her at one point. I said, how do we feel about graveyards? And she said, we feel great about graveyards. So I put that in there. Then she's got a blank page. And this is one of the pages I got out of like a star map kind of book. And I said, we are all stardust, so that's just there. She could put more on there if she wants. Again, like I always say, this is a living piece of art in my mind, and I feel like I start the art, and then it's up to the person who gets the journal to fill in the blank pages and whatnot with their writings, their scratchings, their drawings, their doodlings, their pictures, their keepsakes. So it continues to be a living piece of art, and it's a beautiful thing. Now, because we were on the dark theme, I managed to find a map of the Paris catacombs, because Paris is famous for a lot of catacombs underneath the city. So I managed to get this map, and I tea stained it and distressed it and aged it and whatnot. And so there's that, and it's kind of nice because it's kind of tucked away. It's going to be a little surprise for her. We've got a blank page. She could also journal here if she wants to. Dear self, stay strong. I thought that would be a nice little thing to put on one of these pages that she might journal on. Again, I went really dark with the dyeing of things, so I was experimenting with just dropping ink onto the paper. And this is some of that padded sort of packing paper I was talking about in the last video too. Still on the dark theme. We've got some nice embellishment here. This is actually a full sort of almost center page, as it's sometimes called, because it's not uncut and two different pictures. See, you can see there, and it's got like a very sort of dark theme to it. Now in this, I've got a lot of stuff stuffed into this. So this is just a little thing about a path and a door and how they open, and, you know, life and that sort of thing. And then we've got, this is an oracle card with a goddess in that one. We've got an old vintage witchy kind of card, and she can write on the back of that. It's a journal card. Then I've got a special little message tucked in here about the medicine wheel, because she wants to get into shamanism. She likes bats. I didn't pick this because of the witch. I picked it because of the bats. So she mentioned bats. So this is just another journal card she can, you know, write on or doodle on or whatever she wants to do with it. I'm sure she'll do very creative things with this journal, being that she's an artist. And then I've got another vintage picture. I just really like these pictures, and I love that the person I did this for is very odd, and I love it because it made me feel very free in being odd myself. Again, the whole bat thing, and I aged this. Gotta put a hole there. Got to punch that out. I'll do that in a minute. Another tarot card was tucked back in here for her tarot reading. And then we've got one of those accordion mini envelopes that's tucked in here. You can see that there's a secret message in here. And of course, once you open it up, you can use this for journaling, either this way or this way, whichever way you want to do it. So that's there for her, and that's a little pocket stuffed full of things. Then this is, you may have seen this if you follow me on Instagram. I'm Lady Rose Tarot on Instagram, and I'll put my links down below in the not in the comments, but in the description, so you can find me on various social media platforms. But this is sort of a medicine hoodoo woman, and I just loved it. I love this picture. And then I've been doing hoodoo myself. It's a great combination kind of thing of magic and shamanism and Native American medicine and all that kind of stuff, along with African American medicine as well, because a lot of people forget that, yes, the blacks were in slavery sadly, but so were the Indians, and the Indians, or Native Americans, indigenous, and the blacks came together to celebrate their beliefs together. And when they were dragged from Africa and forced from Africa, a lot of their magic was, and their religion was based off of herbal and plant medicines and things like that. And of course, the same plants are not here in North America that were necessarily over in Africa. So what the Native Americans did is they helped the black slaves find some of the plants that were sort of the same as what they would have used in Africa. So I thought that was really cool. They kind of came together and did that. And because many of them had to hide that they were still practicing their old beliefs, their old religions, their old spirituality, and many of the slave owners were Christian, of course, and they had to hide it. So so what got mixed into it was a lot of novenas and dedications to saints and things like that, and Bible stuff and whatnot. Because you'll find that when you practice, or when you get into hoodoo or voodoo or anything like that, especially North American style, you'll find it's a mixed mash of all kinds of different things. And it's like, why are we saying prayers to this saint? Why are we doing this novena? And me being raised Roman Catholic, it kind of combined everything up for me. Because I'm indigenous, a Mohawk woman, plus I was raised Roman Catholic. So this mash of stuff coming together really, you know, sung to my heart. It was like coming home in a weird way. So this is just a lovely little collage that I did, and there's a long story behind that, as you can see. So then I've got this page. Oh yeah, okay. So this page, you turn it over, and I learned a new thing of expanding the pages that you've already got, so she can journal all here, and then she's got 3 extra sort of sections. She could journal on the back here as well, and then I sort of stamped it up with all kinds of, you know, special signs and signas and things like that. And on this page we've got another stuffed pocket here full of all kinds of tags. This one I did put the hole in, and Maggie's apothecary. We've got a little Whispering from the Woods oracle card, some faux paper tags that I've done up, that I've made up. And then on the other side, we've got this kind of like old medicine from like medieval times, and when they were still figuring out how the body worked. And it was kind of cool because they've got the zodiac signs, and the zodiac signs were very important to medicine for a very long time. In fact, even in the 1960s, medical doctors in North America and throughout the world still had to study what parts of the body were connected to what zodiac sign, because it really did kind of show you like, oh, are you an Aries? Okay, you may suffer from headaches or neck problems, right? And the further down you go, the further down goes the body part that's affected. So I thought that was kind of interesting when I read that, and then I just really liked the sort of the oddness of this picture. This is just something I got out of one of my sort of magical books and whatnot. There is writing there. I'm not sure what it is, but it is English, so you can read it. I think it's talking about the Sphinx a little bit, but I found this in one of my history books that I tear from, and I loved it, and I left the description because when I was interviewing this client, because I always do a personality interview when I do a custom journal, so I really get to know who you are, what you like, all that kind of stuff. Oh, someone must be at my door because my dog's barking. But we got talking. Like I said, I always do this personality interview because I want to really get to know who you are so I can channel you into your custom junk journal. And we were talking about the fact that we had both been to Mexico, and she had seen some of the Aztec ruins and sites and whatnot, and I mentioned that I'd seen some of the Mayan stuff because I was at Chichen Itza. And so this is the library of the University of Mexico in Mexico City, and so it's actually covered in mosaics and Aztec design. So I thought I'll put that in there. It was kind of neat. And then this is just another sort of creepy, dark kind of collage page. I started with the stamps, then I added her, I added the lace, and I added black ink to the lace. Then I found this white lace butterfly. White just wasn't doing it for me, so I decided to dye it up with some soot kind of coloring, and then I added in the dark flowers and the saying here, love could be labeled poison and we'd drink it anyways. And this is actually on one of the older, like the 1800s page. I have a book that I draw those pages from, and this is one of those pages. And then this came to me in a package of some witchy kind of magical mail. So although it's out of date, I really like the look of it because it's got some constellations in the background. It's also a reminder of the various phases that the moon goes through. These aren't accurate because these are from about a year or two ago. And then there's a whole, I think this is the Leo constellation here. There's just sort of a few perhaps not junk journal, but journal prompts and stuff. So you can, you know, read that. And there's Orion, I mean, I don't know why I said that way, but so she could write on that if she wants to, or she could just keep it as it is. And we have another corner tuck here, and in here I have a oracle card, and then I also have a journal card. This came out of one of my history of witchcraft books that I draw from, and this is you know, the pilgrims talking about the death of some of the women that were accused of witchcraft. Now the thing about that is a lot of the women that were accused of witchcraft and burned at the stake or killed or hung or whatever, it was basically a genocide of women, but a lot of them weren't actually witches, and this is something that people forget. And this is, she could journal on the back of this. And then I have this in one of my digi-kits, I believe, and so it's a black cat, and it just kind of looked elegantly creepy. And then I roughed it up with sandpaper to give it kind of like a worn look. I hope that comes through on the camera. If not, it does look like it's old wallpaper kind of thing. And then we have a lovely creepy skull pocket here, and we have one of those fold out envelopes. I showed you one in the last video, but this one I've actually sealed up. So she will have to break the seal to get inside, and there's all kinds of lovely little secret messages there. And then, like I said, this is a pocket here, and it's stuffed full. So we've got the witching hour. This photo I loved because this photo actually kind of reminds me of the person who's getting this junk journal. She's, you know, beautifully dressed and just very proud and looking elegant and noble and gracious. I just loved it. And then on the back she can journal, as well as on the back of this, of course, another little secret message. And then I put in a bunch of journal cards, so there's one there. And this I actually found at a thrift store. So this is actually a postcard here, and I found I have 2 whole packs of these, and it's Russia. You can tell from the onion tops of the buildings there. I can't read a word of it because it's all in Russian. And I also have another, not postcard, but just tourist like spots in Russia. Unfortunately, they're all in Russian, so I can't read what they are, because actually going to Russia is one of my bucket list destinations. So hopefully I make it there someday. And I believe we were talking about that in her interview, that we were talking about Russian stuff. But anyways, I included that. So that's in there. And yeah, stuffed full. Again, it's on the back of that 1800s page. Then this one, I went into gypsy mode for some reason here. So I'm not sure why I was channeling gypsy, but I did a little collage here. And this, I love the look of this woman. She's just so strong and fierce. And Gypsy Soul very much reminds me of the owner of this junk journal. And then I did a fancy paper clip here. I'm just seeing what's on the other side so I can take it off. So I did a fancy paper clip. This is actually a fan that I've taken apart, and then I added some of the beadwork that I had here, so it kind of ties in. This is part of a sari, as is this, and it ties all in. And then it's a fancy paper clip because I've curled it up. And then I added some beads and ribbons here. And then on the back here is actually clipped a nature kind of woodland postcard that I got in one of my woodland kits that I got. And then you can flip it. I've got it so you can flip it open, and here's some journaling space here. So I didn't glue it down, it's just paper clipped in. And then with the fox, I put in a little nature message there for her. So that's there. Because, you know, again, shaman kind of medicine very much deals with animals and animal beings, totem animals, spirit animals, animal medicine, that sort of thing. So this is a very eclectic kind of book, and this is what I loved about it, because again, she's an artist. We were going dark, but we're also going into shamanic kind of stuff. So this, when I did this page, this is a page I experimented with just dropping dark ink onto. So I did some stamp art here, and just to me, this red butterfly just spoke to me. I was like, yeah, I got to put that on that page. And then I've got some red lace randomly added to it. And then I've got a shaman page here for her. I've got some blank pages here for her. There's a crow or raven here. I've got the black burlap that I've trimmed with this. Another star page. It was just so starry. It was sad to cover it up, so I didn't want to cover it up. And then she's got another journal page. Over here, we've got, I did a bunch of stamping, like do what you love. Beauty is the moment you decide to be yourself. And then inside, we've got some macabre kind of old, vintage medical devices and how they used to treat things, and the way they used to treat things, just, you know, bizarre kind of thing. So this is like the odd, curious, and bizarre. I found this in an old sort of history of medicine book, and I'm like, I know exactly where that needs to go. So I put it in here, and then beside it here is another very stuffed tuck pocket kind of thing. She's got one of the Toronto Library cards. This came from a medical journal, a lot of the background of this particular journal card, and then I embellished it up. So, and then I put some paper on the back for her to journal on if she wants to do that. There's an oracle card. These are some vintage star charts of space and whatnot. So I put a few of these in some of my journals lately. The back is blank, so she can journal on that if she wants. This I love. So I found these and I got these, and since I was doing a dark journal, and my next journal is a dark journal, I'm also doing a middle tone journal that I'm working on as well. But these are actually toe tags. Name of the deceased. So these are morgue tags for dead bodies, and I got a whole whack load of them. So if you do want to get some Happy Mail, you can go to my Etsy store, and I am going to be doing up a dark version of ephemera packs, because I've got Happy Mail up there and ephemera packs and whatnot. So I'm going to do some dark Happy Mail as well, so you'll get some of these in it if you want to do the dark side of things. Then I got one of these layaway cards. You probably saw this in the last video that I posted, because I got that as a piece of Happy Mail, which was really nice. And then because we're doing medicine and stuff like that, I put in a specimen card for her if she wants to fill out whatever experiments she's doing. And then there's blank on the back. This is a journal card of 9 of Wands, a tarot card. It's not an actual tarot card. It was just in one of my tarot packs that I got. This is a bookmark, or she could use it as a journal card, that I did up for her, going on that Native American theme. Again, another one of those Russian postcards that I put in there. And there's some papers. A lavender money spell, just for fun. The anatomy of a spell is in here. And there's something else tucked in here. What is this? Oh, how to do a charm bag, or a mojo bag, as it's sometimes called. And then another one of these envelopes. And of course, there's a secret message tucked inside, as there are with almost all my accordion type envelopes. She also said she liked dragons. So I found this in a child's book. one of my storybooks. It's a dragon that's sort of camouflaged as a mountain terrain. And I thought that was really cool. So I put that in for her, and it's one of those kind of center page things. Then we get into more of this weird medicine kind of stuff. So this is actually from a medical journal. The Society of Unknown Philosophers is from a digikit that I got. This is from an actual medical journal. And then experiments log, and then just some, medical notes, science notes, that sort of thing. And some extra embellishments there. This came from a goddess package that I purchased. And again, this very much reminds me of the owner of this journal. Like, she's just sitting so powerfully in this throne. She's holding like a globe or a crystal ball of some kind, but she's like just sitting and contemplating the mysteries of the universe. And there's like one of these kind of things over here, some sacred geometry, secret signs, and then of course butterflies. Oh, this one got a little smushed. Butterflies about transformation, right? And then down here it says follow your own path. And she very much does. So she doesn't need this reminder, but it's just a nice thing to, I think, know that you're on the right path. And this, when I learned how to do doily dresses, I thought, I'm going to put this in here. So she's got a little, if she wants to go from goddess to witch, she can. She's got the wardrobe now. And then over here, she did say she liked owls. So I put an owl in here. This is from one of my napkins that I did up on this parchment, and then I embellished it. And then again, back to native theme. This is actually from one of my old date books that I have kicking around, and I seem to buy these date books that have beautiful, beautiful artwork and poems and things in. And this is Moon Dancers by Lee Marie Dorian. And it's three native women, with a ritual fire, water here. I just loved all the symbolism, and the smoke is going to the heavens, because when Native Americans do any kind of ritual, we have a saying of always through the tobacco. So we often use tobacco as an offering to begin a ritual, to offer to our gardens, our plants, anything that we're harvesting. If we're going to an elder for advice, we often bring tobacco. And I don't mean we're bringing a pack of smokes, I mean we're bringing sacred tobacco. So Native American tobacco, although it was almost extinct, doesn't have the nicotine in it that the European tobacco has. So the European came over here and started planting their tobacco. And that's what most cigarettes now have, is that tobacco. But Native American tobacco did not have nicotine in it. And when we smoke the tobacco, if we want to smoke it, and that's what's often used in our peace pipes, right? We don't inhale, because we feel that's disrespectful, because we believe that the smoke from the tobacco is our connection to the heavens. So we'll smoke it, but we will breathe it right out without inhaling it for the most part. And then this is a big full moon, so I really liked that. And I added some embellishments, some feathers and whatnot. Now this is actually a really big envelope that I turned into 2 pockets. So there's a second one over here. Again, stuffed full of all kinds of journal cards and all kinds of pages. Like the pages in here is drawing down the moon and moon magic. There's another journal card here, another one of those moon kind of space, and this is the phases of the moon journal card, nice and stiff, this one. And then this is another one of those. Well, this also came with the Russian stuff that I got. And again, it's the Conception of St. John the Baptist. So a lot of Russians are Orthodox Catholic, right? So they have a lot of very religious kind of drawings and artwork and stuff, and I just love it. So it came in the Russian stuff that I found in a thrift store, so I thought I'd include that. And even though she may not be Christian, but she's following a different path or whatever, as an artist, I think she can still appreciate the artwork. Another shaman message. This again was one of those dark sky nights, and it was very calming for me to look at it. So I thought I'd just leave it as it came, and that I really liked. Now this one on the back of the star one, I did put this pocket here with the deer on it, and don't let it get you down, it will be over with soon. Just a reminder of basically the mantra of this too shall pass. And this of course is stuffed full. There's some animal totem messages and what each one, like what kind of medicine you're working with each one. Some journal cards, some have bats on them. This one has a dragonfly. And then of course we've got just another nice key secrets kind of tag. Another shamanic message. This is from a spell card deck, and it's joy, and it's clipped here with a bulldog clip. And then another bookmark, feather themed here, but she could use it as a journal card as well if she wants to. And then some blank pages for her to write on. And then there's a lot of blank pages there, which is good. And then this is a map of the stars. It's a vintage old map, like more than vintage. It's more like, you know, medieval kind of times. And they very much included a lot of the zodiac in those kind of maps, even when they did them. So it's not necessarily accurate, but it is very cool to look at. And then I got this out of my goddess package that I got. May the sun warm you and the moon restore you. I added that in. This, I kept wanting to put a message here, but I think this is more a meditation page. Now this page is interesting, the next couple of pages, because this page is one where before I had the thing to make paper with, I didn't have a frame. So I just attempted to make paper and make homemade paper. So it turned into this really dungy kind of like, you know, old, like, man, it's been through the ringer. So it's nice and stiff. So I put this on it. I just wanted some darkness on it. And then I put this Native American girl on the back of it. And it just, I love the look of this. It's all kind of pasted together. So that was just one of my paper experiments. Old paper here, some vellum paper here. This is kind of hard to write on, but it's just so pretty and it feels so neat. So then this is another one, old paper, but this is the other part of that page that I was experimenting with. So I got a skeleton with a crow on his shoulder from one of my napkins. And then on the back, I've got a nice skull embellishment that I put there. These roses are getting a little smushed, but that's okay. It's part of the junk journal. And then I've got some more shamanic on some of this very old 1800 paper. Another shamanic message. And then this is from one of those date books that I was telling you about. Cedar Skies is what it's called. So I love it because it's as if you're lying on the ground and looking up through the trees into the sky. So I just thought this was a beautiful picture to look at. Here I actually wrote, this is original by me. So this is a little sort of poem I wrote, and I had these two. These came from my goddess package, but I love that they were darker goddesses. So I kind of went dark. I've got some ripped lace and dyed lace here. And so the weird ones. We are the weird ones, the ones you do not understand, the ones that have seen the darkness. We are the healers you seek, we are the healers you seek out in your heaviest despairs, your darkest moments, your deepest heartaches. We are the shadow workers. We walk the dragon path to banish and burn away your dreams, to capture back the pieces of your soul. We are the weird ones, and because we understand the darkness, we can heal yours. So every once in a while in some junk journals, you get an original piece by yours truly. So that is mine. And the dragon path that I referred to, that actually is what Celtic shamanism is following the dragon path. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And then this one is not mine, but it's Remember Witch. Remember, and it just talks about like remember the magic of old, the medicine of old, that sort of thing. So although it's geared towards witches, it still very much reminded me of shaman magic and medicine and things like that. So then we got some more blank pages, then a very strong Native American woman who knows who she is. And I love this picture. So of course strength went perfectly with it. This is kind of a neat one. I got this out of a geography book that I draw from. And this is called the Devil's Tower. And it's a massive monolith rising above the plains of Wyoming. And it was formed from a plug of molten magma that long ago welled up from the Earth's interior. So I thought, that is cool. And then we've got another shaman kind of picture here. If you notice, she's levitating from her meditating and levitating. And it says expect miracles, because when the magic starts, it really starts. Then we've got new beginnings. I've got a little tucked envelope here. It has a little surprise in it. And this is the other side of the envelope that has all kinds of stuff in here. There's journal cards. This is a big journal card that I did up of, I believe this is in New Orleans, a graveyard where they have these crypt kind of grave sites. This is a journal card from the dragon storybook that I drew from. So I took this little picture here because it was left over and I made it into a journal card. Another of those star and moon maps, another toe tag. We've got the tree of life in here, and there's a little, it's a journal card. There's tags, there's messages, there's all kinds of things in here. There's another animal, like how owl medicine and magic works. There's pages and pages in here. And then on the other side of this, I did a 3-way flip out. So again, stuffed full oracle cards, a little spell and ritual back there. A witch's knot, the rhyme for it so you know what to do. Tags. This is an herbal card. This is the language of flowers card. Another tag, and then the goddess song here. And it's all inspire, you are amazing, dream big. So that folds up. And then she also mentioned that she loves elephants. So I found this elephant picture in one of my geography or history books or something like that. So I made it into a card, and I was going to leave it as a journal card, but instead I wrote what the elephant medicine is all about. And African shamans believe the elephant, the largest of the land animals, symbolizes triumph and victory. So there's some stuff there about the elephant. You can't go wrong with that. How can you go wrong with elephants, right? And then on the other side of this was clipped this. So a lovely owl with some music, very romantic and whatnot. So it's blank on the back, so she can journal on that one if she likes. Then we've got, like I said, she likes bats. So I've got an envelope here that's again stuffed full, another tarot card, Whispering Woods oracle card, some tags, a collage kind of journal card that I did up there, some library cards. All the backs are blank so that she can journal on them. And I embellished it with some bats that I found. And then, yes, I know this is a huge journal, right? So I got this beautiful sort of blood burgundy kind of lace that I attached to one of the pockets that I made, and again stuffed this pocket with oracle cards, rituals, spell worksheets, tags, you name it, it's there. This is from one of the odd and curious medieval magic digipacks that I got. So it's about transformation, and it's just odd little characters, and I knew she would appreciate that. Another shaman message, blank pages. I added this embellished paperclip with the lovely spider on it. Some people are scared of spiders. I don't think she is, so I hope that works. And then clipped on the back of that spider paperclip is this little tag of the sun and sort of moon all in one, loving each other, right? And then, again, this is some of that ink that I was experimenting with. So we've got some very aged kind of papers that she can write on. I included this in. I found a government kind of envelope at one of these thrift stores, and I cut it into a page, and I just liked the way it was graphed up like this, so I thought, maybe she can use that to write on. So I thought that would be fun. And then it's blank on the back, so she can write on that. This I glued in so that she can write here if she wants to, just a, you know, a remembrance. This is a little more, again, we're getting more into the light a little bit. So study of books and the infinity sign, the crystals, the flowers and plants and things like that. Again, like I said, we're going more into the light. So this is a center page, the tree of life, with which the shamans very much work with a lot. And then I've got some butterflies here about journeys and transportation or transformations. And then I just embellished it up with some lace. This is, I found this and it was kicking around, so I thought I gotta find a place for it. It's from one of my medical journals that I have. So I put this in here. And then this page is all like stuffed pockets. So this is just a tuck here, another tarot card, some herbal stuff. Again, we're going into the light, so I included, you know, a little fun tag. There's a special message here. This is a ritual, a tucked envelope here. And then this envelope, because it's got the owl here, I did some stamping on this one, and it comes vintage like this. But it's stuffed full. It's just the cards have fallen down, full of all kinds of cards and journal cards and stuff like that. And then I have this card. Again, we're going into the lights. We're getting a little lighter. This is Buddha, and there's a special message in there, but she can use that as a journal space. And these are just kind of journal prompts, you know, like, you know, what wishes, what magical goals, what experiences, what acts of charity have you done this month? And she can use those as ongoing prompts if she wants. Again, this is from that date book that well, a couple of date books. I think I have about 3 of them that have kind of art like this, along with little poems and stuff done by women artists. So I figured, her being an artist, she would appreciate that. I believe, yes, I kept all the, like, what the name of the art is and who the artist is, so that she can reference if she wants to. And then I embellished that with a little lace. Some more blank pages, or blank-ish pages. Again, experimenting with that ink, making it look really old and tattered and whatnot. Blank pages. Believe in yourself. I really liked this because it was green and it had the lotus flowers blooming. And this is on some of that special 1800s kind of paper. So I thought, well, we're going into the light. She likes bats, so again, I added that. And then a wise man travels to discover himself, and all who wander are not lost. And this one is a map of the city of London, an old map of it. So I thought that was kind of neat. And then that's the end, and there's the owl flying. So I hope you enjoyed that flip through. I hope you got some inspiration for your own junk journals. Again, like I said, I'll put my links in the description below if you want to find me or see what I have available. Also, if you can subscribe and let me know what you thought of the journal, please leave comments, because it does help to grow my audience. So I appreciate all the comments that come in. And thank you so much for being here. If you subscribe and click the bell, you'll also know exactly when a new video comes up. So thanks for spending a little time with me and going through this book. Have so much fun with your own junk journals. If you want me to do one up for you, you can get me to custom do one, or you can work on some of your own. Okay, take care. Bye.